Welcome to the common chaos of sisterhood.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Amy.
Come hang out with us.
Grab your drinks and get comfy.
And let's get into it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. Just a forewarning. This episode is going to get real heated. It might make you angry. We're going to get angry, especially this one right here. She's going to get angry.
I'm going to get angry.
We were going through Goodreads. If you don't know what Goodreads is, it is a community page, social media page for book readers. So you can like put in what you're reading, what you want to read, what you're currently reading, what you've read, and you can rate books. And so like there's like a lot of times when I look up a book that I see on like TikTok or I see a book that looks interesting, that's the first place I go is Goodreads, and I start looking through reviews.
Yeah. I don't always trust reviews, though.
Because there's, like, books that I've read that I love, but there's, like, a bunch of people that are, like, dissing it. Like, especially those people that, like, diss the books on TikTok, and I'm like...
How? Like, how?
It's so good!
I know we have different tastes, but how?
So, that's essentially what the premise of today's episode is going to be.
And fair warning, there are some spoilers. Like, we're definitely going to spoil it, because these are some of our favorite books.
Yes.
And we're going to read 1-star reviews today of our favorite books.
Yeah. So if you keep listening or watching and you get a book spoiled for you, don't come at us. We warned you. Yeah. Don't be mad at us. Yeah. It's your fault.
I'm not sorry.
Okay. At this point, if you don't want spoilers,
click off.
Stop watching and listening.
All right. Well, we're going to start out today with today's question, and it's going to really show how today's going to go. Do you care about what people say about you or the things that you love?
Yes. I am constantly worried about what people think and say about me, and yes, the answer is just yes. Everything that I do and everything that I wear and everything that I am is based off of what other people think about me.
See, I really don't care what people say about me. Because I say everything to myself. I am my biggest critic. And if it bothers me, then I try to change it. But I don't care about what people think about me. Like, I am the thick mom with tattoos. Like, I don't care. But don't diss the things that I love. The people that I love, the things that I love. Keep your mouth shut.
See, and it's funny because, like, if you don't like something that I love, I'm just like, okay, then you have your own opinion. But, like, then you start, like, dissing me, and I'm just like...
Me, diss me all you want. I don't care. Whatever. Don't diss the things that I love, okay?
Unless it's people. You start talking crap about people that I love, that's a different story. But,
it's like, I love to hear people's opinions.
Yes.
Like, I love conversating and hearing people's opinions and, like, actually having good conversation dialogue. Mm-hmm. But you start completely bashing on something that I love, I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah.
So today's episode, I feel, is gonna make me really mad.
Yeah, probably. The reason we know this, we actually started doing research. I started looking on Goodreads because I had seen someone else do this. I don't remember who it was. I apologize. I do not remember who it was. But we had seen someone do this, and I was like, oh, that would be a really good idea. Like, let's do that. And we started looking on Goodreads. Was it last night or something like that?
It wasn't.
A couple nights ago. I don't remember. And we started reading them, and she started getting so mad. I was like, we can't do this anymore. We gotta save all of this for the actual.
It was pissing me off.
So, if you don't like aggression and anger, you might want to leave now, too.
I'm a nice person, I promise.
Okay, so we're going to first start with Haunting Adeline, it's the Cat and Mouse series by H.D. Carlton.
And it's one of my all-time favorite books. Like, I fell in love with it. I'm trying to convince Haley to read it. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to help her convince her to read it or not. But it's one of, like, I felt like a lot of people don't like it. There's the different reviews on it. But I fell in love with this book. This series freaking loved it.
I've never read it, so this is gonna be interesting. Hey, you ready?
No.
All right, so our first 1 star for Haunting Adeline starts off as this book was corny. It was awful, but also a corn fest. When reading a dark romance, you expect a little more depth and triggering themes to accompany the story. Maybe a little drugs, death, etc. This book combines a goofy hacker, vigilant, stalker, and an insufferable heroine, and claims itself to be a dark romance. It's a joke. The main character, Adeline, is supposedly the manipulator, and Z, or the stalker, is the shadow. I don't really remember the names because it was so stupid and unnecessary. Anyways, the story proceeds with Addie staying at this creepy house for no reason, where countless people have died. Introduces a whole...
No, okay, no. Okay, go. Okay, no. There is death. There is murder. There
I'm
is.
not even done with the review.
I don't care. There is death. There is murder. There is intense scenes. There is kidnapping. There is dark stuff in it. Okay, it has a page of trigger warnings. Okay, 1, and if you want to read something darker, there are darker books, but this is a dark book. 2, his name is Zaid. Okay, all right, cool. He is not a stalker for anyone. He saw her and fell madly in love with her, which is just kind of weird, jail time type thing. But no, not weird, not corny, because he my favorite part of that book is when he throws a cigarette butt on the ground and she's like, "Stop littering," and he continuously picks up his cigarette butts.
That's so cute.
It's cute. It's so freaking cute. But he also, has chopped off someone's hands and sent it to her in the box because this guy touched her. So no,
Jeez.
there were both sides of it. Okay, she is a manipulator because she is a manipulator because. You can see her inner dialogue. You know what's going on in her head. No one else does, but you can see what's going on. It's a good book.
Okay, can I finish the review
Oh my
now?
god.
Okay, so it says it starts off with Addie staying in a creepy house for no reason.
No,
where
hold on.
countless
Hold on.
people have
Hold on. No. There's a reason. Her grandmother died and left it to her. She grew up in that house. She loves that house, and it's an old Gothic mansion. It's not creepy. It's an old Gothic style mansion that her grandmother died in, and it was given to her.
Okay.
There is a reason.
Okay. And then it introduces a ghost and then promptly forgets that part for the plot. Okay, cool beans, I guess.
No. It did not introduce a ghost. There's the house makes weird noises. And the upstairs attic's really creepy, and so she pretty much puts it in her head that oh, there's a ghost. There doesn't introduce a ghost. It's hey, this is Fred the ghost. No.
Then Z sees her doing some book signing. Oh, sees her doing a book signing and stalks her insanely. Okay, Z is the corniest MF I've ever read in my life. He's this Dubcon psycho. He literally sends her a pair of cut off hands when she lets some creepy guy touch her. Stock, who is actually a self-taught mastermind hacker who saves kids and women from sex trafficking. Yep, I'm serious. It's an absolute cringe fest. Her BFF
How is that
also
bad?
vigilant. The word choice the author uses is so juvenile. It made me scream. I mean, do we live in a Niall Breen movie? The darkness this book promises is completely gone at this point. The funniest and most ironic part, however, is that Mr. Savior, aka Mr. I can't bear to see innocent kids raped at the hands of powerful men, and I have to save them from my chiseled jaw and ugly scar, rapes the main character with a gun. I mean, are you kidding me?
Okay,
I don't mind Dubcon, but at least take a look at the dang plot, author.
Okay, so that part was cringy. That it was like, what? But you can see her inner dialogue. It is consensual. It is consensual. It's not.
You can't have him save survivors and then rape the main character. The later sex scenes are a little better because she's more attracted to him and apparently gets off on the fear, like, okay, whatever, woman.
That's rude. Some people do. Some people. You're rude. You are kink shaming people. Not saying I have that, but you are kink shaming people.
Anyways, back to the child trafficking sacrifices, drinking blood scenes. These scenes are so corny. I mean, there's these senators who are doing it, and Z and his group are trying to hack into their society, which, hey, want to know the name of their creepy, dangerous group? The Society. Like, hello, is this a Wattpad novel? It's so funny. Anyways, these scenes were the only thing keeping me reading this book. One reason was because it was so corny. It was funny. And the other was because it was actually interesting seeing how lame someone can make sex trafficking. I mean, come on. Also, apparently Addie's great-grandma also had a stalker and was supposedly killed by her husband. And Addie was targeted by the Society to be sold because she's pretty. It's also
no, because
so
she's Zayd's girl.
executed.
Because he's Zayd's girl, and Zayd's trying to take it out of society. So she is an expensive. Like,
Okay, this book has several major flaws, but the biggest one is trying to have too many storylines at once. You have the romance, the sex, the stalker, and fear, the sex trafficking, and grandma's murder. It's way too much. Pair that with a drawn-out plot, juvenile writing, corny scenes, and insufferable characters. That, my friend, creates a bad book. To be fair, at some parts, it was so bad it was good, so it proves to be a really good comedy if you're interested.
you know what? Some people need multiple things happening because they can't pay attention to one thing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm almost out of coffee.
Stop stress drinking it. Okay, I'm going to read one more from this one. You want me to read one more or you want me to move on?
Sure.
Okay. This one's a shorter one. It says, regardless of the raving reviews this book has, I couldn't finish it. I'm really not into the whole forced, straight-up sexual assault trope and was not expecting it. Basically, this guy is
It has trigger warnings. Read the
And
trigger warnings.
he's obsessed
Don't read the
with
freaking book.
He's obsessed with this girl. He breaks into her house a bunch and scares her / leaves her creepy gifts. Then he forces her to have sex with him more than once. Like, she's legitimately begging him not to touch her and she's crying. But at the same time, he's a good guy that saves girls from sex trafficking. Am I supposed to care? And also he's hot, and she starts finding him kind of desirable on the part where I left off. But I'm going to stop you right there. Nothing will make me like this dude. He is a rapist. There's no gray area there. I don't care if she eventually starts to like him. I don't care that he does nice things occasionally. I look past the rapist thing. I can't look past the rapist thing. If you don't like stories about this sort of thing either, I would not recommend this book to you. It probably gets good at some point. I mean, has great reviews, like maybe he becomes really great and they have a sweet connection at some point, but I don't care. The only way this book would have gotten better for me if he dies miserably. I'm not trying to like this dude and justify his gross behavior for the sake of smut. Thank you, but no thank you. On to the next. Which, okay, that one I kind of understand.
It's
but
a dark...
there's trigger warnings at the beginning of the book for a reason. Like, there's trigger warnings at the beginning of the book for a reason. But, you know, if someone, like, for whatever reason is thinking about reading this book and doesn't have the book to, like, read the trigger warnings, like, this is a decent review for someone who can't handle it.
Yes. But it's consensual.
Yeah.
Like, there's... I'm so pissed. Like, it makes me seem like a very bad person for loving this book. It makes me seem like this horrible, like, dark person. But it has trigger warnings. It says, hey, if this stuff bothers you, this ain't the book for you. You know what? The book's for me. I don't do sad books. If they don't end up in a happy ending, I can't read them. I don't do, like, realistic stuff. You know why I like this book? Because it's not realistic.
It's fake.
It's fake. It's not realistic. It's like it would be like watching a like stalker movie or something. It's fake. It's not gonna happen. Like there's things in it that, like, you know, real stuff happens, but this scenario is not gonna happen. I don't read real books because it freaks me out. Like I don't like to be like that upset and drawn out about a book. I'm not going to leave a review on this really good book, but real things happen just because I don't like it. I don't like that style of book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, second review wasn't so bad, but the first one was stupid.
Yeah. All right, so the second book in the same series is called Hunting Adeline. It's still by H.D. Carlton.
And that one is it ends. The first book ends on her getting kidnapped, and the second one starts on her getting kidnapped, and she goes through the sex trafficking ring, and it does get really dark. A lot of bad things happen. Again, if you cannot handle reading about that, listening about that, don't read the book.
Yeah.
Like, do not read this book.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart. It was, I needed to read something lighter after reading this. But just so you know, I'm not a bad person. Just like horrible books.
Alright, so this one says no. First book, dark romance. Second book, several graphic and gratuitous rape/torture scenes, plus revenge-ish, plus consensual bloody sex. I'm not ever one for censorship, so feel free to read the book if the trigger warnings don't bother you. I just don't feel as though the first half of the book was in any way necessary. It spends hundreds of pages curdling my stomach, and for what? To rush through Addie's recovery and paragraph-long summaries? Then spend the rest of the book focusing mostly on her getting revenge, being okay with sex again. So we're just skipping right over any necessary therapy sessions, making new friends, finding a safe space in the world again, and everything else survivors go through just to get to the sexy revenge.
No, she does. It's months. Like, I'm sorry, it's a book. I don't think you want to read months of like laying in bed, hurtled into a ball, because that's what she spent. She spent months doing the same thing. Oh, and that's what the book said. Spent months in a ball. She would eat. She would throw up. She would bawl. Like, it was the same. It was
There's
months.
not a whole lot
It was
talk
over
about.
a year of like getting over this, and she finally found this outlet to help her, and she found like she got closer to her friends. And you can't read. You want to read 3 months of she did this, 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 she did. No one wants to read that. And it even says it took months.
That's beyond bad storytelling. You put the characters/readers through all of that just to try to switch the book back to some sort of dark romance? No, absolutely not. Based on this book's ratings, I'm very much in the minority here. Just don't go into this one thinking it's in any way a continuation of the first. Probably best for you to pretend like this is a brand new series. Different characters, an alternate universe, whatever you need to do. That's about as much as the two books connect in this duet. For the record, I did have to start skipping over scenes after the first rape/torture. There are several. Thought maybe I could handle one. Nope, especially when it was clear that this was all happening for shock value and not to treat the issues with much sensitivity.
Okay, so the book literally ends with her getting kidnapped, and it starts with her in the truck getting kidnapped. It is literally like it is, and it's not for shock value. It is say this is what these women are going through. This is what's happening with the trafficking situation. This is what they go through. If you don't want to read that, that is fine. If you want to put your head in the sand, that is fine. Okay, but to understand how she got over this, and how she was how broken this woman was, and how strong she was to get over it, and how strong she was to escape this, you have to know what she went through. And it was hard to read, yes. It sucked, yes. But you have to know what happened to know how she got through it. All right? Don't like it. Read trigger warnings. Don't freaking read it.
Okay, moving on. We're
Not a
gonna do
coffee.
one of my books so
Okay.
we can calm down a little bit. So, when I actually read this book, I was getting a lot of comments like, "Why are you reading this book? You know what's gonna happen."
That's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what you said. I love this book so much. So it's called "They Both Die at the End" by Adam Silvera.
I wonder what happens.
Literally, like that's what everyone was telling me. But it's such a good book, and I have not read the second one yet. It's already out. I want to read it so bad. Well, I mean, like the first.
Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna read them. I want to read them. Okay, the first review is, "I hope they stay dead."
This is horrible.
That's all it says.
Why?
The second one, "OMG, they died?"
Like I said, everyone was saying that. That's in Spanish.
Okay. This next one. If Jake Paul ever sat down and write a touching story where he can appear deep and woke all at the same time, I feel like this would be that book. The writing is clunky at best and downright cringe at worst. It was a chock full of unnecessary details, and discussions of the death were all repetitive and shallow to the point where I was rolling my eyes. Oh, my glasses on.
That's why I was reading it.
In terms of characters, there were so many POVs, and all of them were two-dimensional, and the reason I think of as to why they exist is to build this futuristic type world where everyone is in the essential crisis, but every reason this story exists is so contrived
I don't know.
that I can't connect. The two main characters have no chemistry.
That's a lie.
And I probably should have known that insta-love would have been a trope that would have been used. I was a fool for believing otherwise.
They literally met the day they were dying. What do you mean? Oh, insta love, no chemistry. Oh my god. It's so sweet and emotional and heart-wrenching, and I loved it so much.
Yeah,
so
that
to
would
say that the
not-
two main characters didn't have any chemistry is a lie, because they did, and it wasn't instant love. They literally didn't fall in love with each other until the very end of the book, right before they died. Like,
This doesn't sound like this is like my type of book, because I don't. It's not a happy ending. It's not. No, I don't. It's sad, and I would be
love
depressed.
sad books. Okay, sad books are the best book ever.
That one says, "I'm glad, they died."
Glad they died. That's so rude. This one says, "Did I read the same book as everyone else? This was borderline torture. The writing was enjoyable, but the story didn't make sense. There was a beginning, an end, and a bunch of stuff in between that felt like filler fluff."
That's what a book is.
I had DNF'd this book in the past, but recently bought a used copy because it was a pick for a book club. I don't often try to read a book I've DNF'd because I usually regret trying it, as is the case with this mess of pages.
That's what a book is.
It's
A book
literally
has a beginning, an end, and stuff in the middle.
Stuff in the middle. Stupid. Okay, moving on.
This is a book that I convinced her to read because, like, she doesn't. We don't have the same book style, and there's a couple that I've convinced her to read. She's like, I just can't finish it. Like, but she absolutely loved this book, and I loved that she loved this book. It is Scarred by Emily
McIntyre.
McIntyre.
It's the second book in the Never After series. So the first one is Hooked,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's Hooked, Scarred, Wretched, Twisted, and Crossed.
Which I wanted to read. I've like seen these and I thought about reading them. I just never did. And like I was talking to her about it. She's like, no, if you're gonna read one, read Scarred. Because like I don't.
She
care
doesn't
for,
read series.
I don't read series, but like I also sometimes really don't care about for like the fairy tale like especially if it's Disney,
Mm-hmm.
the like retellings.
I love
or
the
whatever,
retellings.
because all I can think of in my brain is the characters from the movies, and it just screws it up.
No, I
With
love
this
the
one-
villain retellings.
Well, with this one, it was a lot easier because, one, it's like a fractured retelling. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't use the actual names from the movie.
Mhm.
It's only hinted at, and that's what I really liked about this book. Like, it's so good. Okay, so we're ready to both get angry. Okay.
Hey, cool.
All right.
She likes to torture me.
If someone were to tattoo property of onto my thigh, I would have them arrested. Also, when he just left after she said that it would be a lie to say no one has ever touched her, I laughed. What a petty man.
Yes, he was petty. Yes. He was a very lovely petty man.
He was literally bullied his whole life.
It's like, okay, if you know the story of Scar from The Lion King,
Mm-hmm.
that's who, like, Tristan is the main character. Like, it was the scarred prince. He was bullied, he was tortured, he was tormented. Yes, that's the whole point of his character. His character is this petty, like, I want what I want type character. If you ever seen The Lion King, it literally says it's loosely based off the Lion.
It's a fractured retelling. It's not. Gosh, calm down. Okay, it's a heart. Not the kind that you see kids draw or the type that you would expect in paintings that depict love. This one is of the organ, blood dripping off its edges and vessels running through the muscle. A thick chain wraps around its center and coils beneath it. A padlock on the end. I squint my eyes and look closer, realizing what's written on the lock. Tristan's property. A crime against the art of tattooing. If you can't tell, this one right here, if you're watching this, she likes the actual, like, heart organ things. She's like 3 tattoos of them.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. If you are a basic ass bitch that wants a pretty little heart and a little ribbon that says, "Oh, with my boyfriend's name in it," more power to you. More power to you. But you know what's really hot is when somebody puts their whole self into a drawing, and it is the most beautiful thing you've seen. It is its actual heart with chains wrapped around it, and it has his name on it, and he put his heart and soul into that drawing. But no, if you want to be a basic bitch, I just want a cute little heart with his name in it, and it just be little and cute and petite. More power to you. More freaking power to you. But do not say it is a crime against tattooing, because I'm spitting. I would much rather have this something that came out of his head and this beautiful work of art on my body that he put his soul into, other than like cute heart. Shut up. God. Like, ugh. Don't diss the art of tattooing.
This next one says DNF at 26%. To be honest, I just could not stand the male main character. Also, I hate his name. Tristan sounds like a frat boy, not a prince.
I mean, he's not wrong.
You have a book because you don't like the name?
And Prince Tristan, that was 1800s, people.
This one says, I don't think I'm a dark romance type of girl.
You know what? That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's okay. That's fine.
This one says, I am, in fact, scarred after reading this.
I hate people. This is why I'm not a people person. And I'm out of coffee.
Alright. This one took me a while to actually pick up. I saw this one all over TikTok and recommended everywhere. I love it. It's so good. I hated the ending just because it made me cry my eyes out. If you can't tell, I like sad books.
I do not.
I love sad books. Book that made me cry is a really good book.
Give me some good dark romance. Give me some dark books. I'm good. Don't give me a sad book.
Okay, so the next book is called All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven? I don't know.
Nubbin.
It's All the Bright Places. Okay. So there's a girl whose name is a color, violet. And a boy whose name makes him sound like he burst from the pages of a Dickens novel. Theodore Finch.
People don't, like, they have, like, issues with people's names.
I don't understand.
My mama gave me this name. People, like...
And they're both super quirky. That's intelligent and know the names of a bunch of dead poets. That's how they...
You know what? Some people are
That's
like that.
how
Like,
they connected. Then there's that whole death thing hanging over this novel. Why does that feel like I've read this before? Oh, right. Okay, so... Don't hate me. I assume this is Fault in Our Stars. It's a picture of Fault in Our Stars, I guess. Okay, so don't you just hate it when reviewers try to tell you what you should or shouldn't read? Like, they make universal statements like, who could possibly love a book like this? Yeah, me too. Which is why I'm not going to tell you to do anything. But I am going to strongly recommend that you consider reading, forgive me, Leonard Peacock instead of this book, because the theme is the same, only I believe it to be so much better. Perhaps it's just me, but I am getting so tired of these Lifetime special kind of books that seem to hit me over the head with emotional manipulation. John Green, of course, created his own set of quirky characters to make a humorous book about cancer, and now we've reached the same for suicide. If you did happen to love Fault in Our Stars and other books like it, don't let me keep you from snapping this book up. It probably will become a new favorite, but it just did not work for me. These characters all feel so fake, like plot tools the author uses to extract our emotions. From the very first page, I felt like the book took center stage and introduced itself as, I am a book about suicide. I knew how this was going to end, I just knew it, not even any surprises. Apparently it's some flaw in my character for not loving all the right places because these books constantly claim commercial and critical success. I should be drowning in my own tears and mucus right now. Oh, well, sucks. And honestly, Augustus Waters and Theodore Finch, please, what century am I in? That is
She's
so
really
dumb.
really, really doesn't like names.
What is the problem with the names? Like, literally. And no, at the end, yes, he does end up killing himself, but it had made it seem like, sorry, it made it, spoiler warning, it does make it seem like, because they start getting close and they start falling in love, and it's like, that's who they're meant to be with, and they just, like, make each other better, and he's making her better, and they're coming together, and then...
Apparently not that better.
He still kills himself, and I was just like, literally, oh my gosh, it was so sad. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
okay.
those aren't my style books.
This is stupid.
Why did we do this to ourselves?
Okay. So, next book that we're going to do is another one of yours.
Yeah.
We did The Ritual by Chantel Teaser.
I have no clue how to say her name.
I think it's
or his name.
Chantel Teaser.
But this is an unhinged, very messed up book.
So I was going to read that first review, but it's like 20 pages long, and I'm not reading that long review. So the second one, this is DNF. I don't usually rate DNFs, but this is for the brain cells I lost. This was so dumb, I can't even put into words.
Well, then don't put it into words.
That's
All right.
it says. Next one says, I read a lot of books, not a humble brag. Trying to lend some context when I tell you this is one of the worst things I've ever read. Kind of funny, though.
No, it's a good book. It's a good book. It's very unhinged. It's funny, but it's a good book.
Like, a lot of these reviews don't have explanations. Next one. As a kid, I remember accidentally spraying perfume in my eyes. It was really painful. Today, I experienced the same while reading this book.
Oh my gosh! Read trigger warnings. Read the summary. Read the trigger warnings. If it's not for you, don't read the book.
This was so dang dull. It pretends to have a plot for almost 500 pages, but really all that happens is a lot of explanation points and the word whimper on every page.
Okay, no, absolutely not. It's not like that. Like, you're stupid. It has multiple different things happening, and that's the kind of books that I read. Multiple different things happening all at once, because it doesn't keep this one single thing happening to the whole book. I get freaking bored, okay? I need multiple things happening and multiple things at a time, and I can keep track of everything. If you are simple-minded and you can't keep track of it, don't read the freaking book.
This one says, oh my god, this was bad.
Oh my god.
These reviews are not very deep.
They're not very, like, I appreciate the deep ones, But like, if you're just gonna be like, oh, it sucked, I don't like it, meh, like, shove off. Just don't read it.
Okay, we'll read this one. It's a little long, but not bad. This book made me so mad. Both were into forced sex fantasies and CNC, but there wasn't a single conversation about limits, consent, or safe words. At the same time, the story tried to preach to the audience how this kind of fantasy is normal and there's nothing to be ashamed of, but portrayed it in the worst way possible. He
No,
treated
it
her like
didn't.
he treated her like his property, and as such, he did whatever he wanted with her. But don't worry, because she was always ready for him.
Because that's the point of the cult. That was all the rules of the cult, and Riot went away from the rules of the cult because he fell in love with her. So he actually so this cult is pretty much, I am man, I force myself on you, you are mine, you're my property. This is what these girls signed up for. They signed up for that. He actually ends up falling in love with her, breaks all the rules of the cult because he wants to protect her, he wants to love her, he wants to adore her, and he adores her more than anybody else in his life. And he goes through and breaks all the rules of the cult just because he falls in love with her. Like, shut up, stupid.
It says motivations, personalities, consistencies. We don't know any of them in this book. I've read plenty of dark romances with similar themes, and I found them really well done. But this story read like the idolization of porn and how it rottens and twists our idea of what women find desirable in sex. Why is it only women who love to be degraded, beaten, choked, hurt? Why did we buy into the idea that sex equals pain for us and not them? CNC and
Read the second book. Read the second book. There's a lot of pain going on for him.
CNC and somnophilia are some of my favorite kinks to read about because they require a lot of communication, trust, and limits. This book was just rape culture and abo.
No, like she signed up for it. She signed up for it, and she trusted him with everything she had. Everything she had. And she was with this piece of absolute trash before, like, she signed up for this thing. He downgraded her. He not downgraded, belittled her. Like, was just this horrible human sack of feces. Like, just a terrible person. And she met Riot, which Riot's not a good guy. He's a bad dude. Like, he's not a good guy. But he communicates with her. He loves her. He's like, don't be ashamed of any of these things that you want. Let me be there for you. Let me be that for you. No, screw you. I don't like you.
I have a random question. Do you really like H.D. Carlton books? Because like 3 or 4 of them are by H.D.
Well, H.D. Carlton was from Haunting Adeline.
And then so the one we're about to do is Does It Hurt, which is by H.D. Carlton, and then Satan's Affair is also by H.D. Carlton.
Well, Haunting Adeline and Satan's Affair are all in the same universe.
Still, like,
they're the same
4
universe.
or 5 of your
story.
books.
It's the same story. And I think it was the only books I have by H.D. Carlton, though.
And they're all your favorites.
Yeah, that's the good story.
Okay, so the next one is another one of hers. This Does It Hurt?
Again, very dark. I read dark books.
So, first one. I'm sitting here staring at a wall, fully traumatized by what I just read.
And it's a very traumatizing book.
I feel like if I read it, that's what I would feel like.
It's a very traumatizing book. I can't. It's a very traumatizing book.
Okay. Next one. Enzo, you know what? It never was that serious. It was never that serious. This was so musty in every sense of the word. I want every memory of this book plucked out of my mind.
So this girl steals this dude's identity, and he takes it personally because his identity is the only thing he has. It was serious to him.
I feel like that's very serious to him.
That was very serious to him.
I didn't get it with the Hunting What's Her Name book, and I didn't get this. This is so funny. Okay, so this next one. This is one she actually convinced me to read. It's Satan's Affair by H.G. Carlton. It is actually a
It's a
What's it?
novella.
it's a novella. It's like a prologue to Haunting Adeline.
Yeah, it's about one of the characters that are in Haunting Adeline.
Sibby. If
Sibby.
you've read Haunting Adeline and have
Love
not read
Sibby.
Satan's Affair. Oh, Satan's
It's kind of like her background, where
Yeah.
she came from, and how she became acquaintance with Zaid.
and she's pretty messed up. I did read this one.
She wasn't gonna.
I wasn't going to.
Because I read messed up
Yeah,
stuff. I read very
it
messed
was
up
real small.
stuff.
It's a novella, so it wasn't very long. I don't remember how many pages it is, but it's not very long. But like it's very definitely gruesome. Very if you can't handle that stuff, don't read it. Like, but it was
very
good.
gruesome.
It was very gruesome.
Very, very gruesome.
But the plot twist and the background information and being inside her head, it was. I really liked it.
If you don't like that kind of stuff, you don't like really gruesome, very trigger warnings, take them at face value.
Yes.
Like, I'm serious. Like, if they have a trigger warning, take it as face value. Be like, hey, this is not for me. I'm not going to read this.
Yeah.
And for my friends and family out there, I'm not messed up. I just like reading messed up things.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so first one. Listen, I promise soon I'll give reading Book Talks a rest because obviously we don't get along, but I genuinely cannot comprehend why a book like this qualifies as romance. Gratuitous.
It's not really romance. It's erotica.
Gratuitous gore, psychopathic characters, and in the end, a plot twist that demonizes people with mental illness. I only read this book because the author recommends it as a prequel to her main series, Haunting Adeline. If this book is any indication, maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. Y'all have to start separating your smut recommendations between porn. That was done for shock value and actually quality stuff because I'm getting tired. That's stupid because it literally gives you some information about her background.
Yeah, it does flashbacks of her memories.
Yeah, and it explains why she is the way she is and like how she got to where she is and how she met
Zaid.
Yeah. I haven't read the other books.
But it's like, and it's not a romance. The novella, it is not a romance.
No.
Don't
There
try.
is no romance
There is
in it.
no romance in it. It is pure, gruesome, like serial killing and erotica.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. And if you're reading it for a romance, don't read it.
Yeah.
It is literally Sibby's messed up story. This poor girl's messed up story. And it's like she's in the second book of Haunting Adeline. And I do like the fact that it gave you some insight of who she is, because she's one of my favorite characters in the book. She's not main character, but she's one of my favorite characters. And it gives it like, oh, she's like this because of this. You're not gonna know every single little detail. It's a novella. Yeah. It is a quick read. It is
like
supposed
200
to be
pages. It
is supposed to be a quick read. Be like, this is who's like, bam, this is Sibby. This is who Sibby is.
Yeah.
Read this before you read the actual my story that I worked at. This is this character. This is what she went through. This is everything about this one person. If you wanted to make it any longer, you would have to add other characters. You'd have to add. No, it is about one. The whole book. It's about one person. It is not a romance.
All right. So the next one we're gonna read. Again, I read sad books. Okay, and I like sad books. This one's called 1,000 Boy Kisses by Teely Cole. I think is how you say her name. Teely Cole. So good. It made me cry. My Kindle was stupid, and when I opened it, it opened me at the very end, like the bonus content for the next book. And so I started reading that, and it was the prologue for the second book. And I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out because I figure out what happens at the end of the book. And then I realized that I just read the prologue for the second book. So I went back to the beginning and read through it, and I still bawled my eyes out at the end of the book. Even though I knew what was happening. Okay. This says, Jesus, this was bad. Poorly written. The story was horribly executed. It was meant to be intense and heart-wrenching, but I felt nothing other than pure annoyance. I wanted the main character to just shut up. The odd slut-shaming pissed me off. The non-stop cliche, the romance and dialogue were vomit-inducing, unrealistic. I couldn't do it. DNF at 60%. How can you say that when you didn't even finish it? I need my romance fix. Buddy reading with my fave is what it ends with. How is this not romance?
It wouldn't be romance to me because they died.
Stupid. But it's so sweet in the middle. If this book has one hater, it's me. I hate you. Oh my gosh, why are these so long? Oh, Poppy was her name. How about that? No, he roared. Poppy was quirky, not cool. She was unique in a town full of carbon copy bimbos. She didn't want to cheer or chase boys. Wattpad says hi. Oh my gosh, shut up. If I had a nickel for every time I wanted to DNF this book, I'd have 1,000 nickels in my jaw. It took me forever to finish this book. Needless to say, I didn't like it at all. It tried too hard to be a tearjerker. What do you mean tried too hard? Whatever. Oh, I read this one last month but forgot to write a review. Basically, it's cheesy as heck and I was cringing a lot while reading. I don't want to hear or read the name Poppy Min for the rest of my life again.
They have a name a lot.
So, her name is Poppy. But he, like I said, he's from another country.
Mm-hmm.
And, in his country, Poppy Min means, add Min after the name, it means, you're mine.
Mm-hmm.
You're my Poppy.
Yeah.
And so, he gives her that name when they're little.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wants to protect her, and he's like, you're mine. You're my Poppy. And so he calls her Poppy Min. And it's, the cutest thing ever.
That's cute.
Right? Gosh. Stupid. How can you say this is the epitome of cheesy and you DNF'd it at 30%? That's stupid. It says, DNF at 30%. This book is an epitome of cheesy. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it, but I really cannot relate. The writing is 100% unrealistic and just freaking puke-inducing cheesy. I'll let you decide for yourself. Keep in mind the character is supposed to be 15 years old when he said this. Because of you, I'll miss out on years of being with my girl. Don't think that just because I'm young, I don't recognize that what I have with Poppy. I love her. I love her more than you can imagine. And you're taking me away without even considering how I feel. That's when his parents told him the night before that they were moving back to his country. They didn't tell him months in advance to
that sounds like
prepare.
Something that 15-year-old would say.
They literally told him the night before that they were moving that he needed to pack his stuff.
Oh, Lord.
And that was his response. How is that? Jeez, I don't... She was 15 when she said this as well. Maybe we're like the Cherry Blossom Rune is his name. Okay. Maybe we're like the Cherry Blossom Rune, like shooting stars. Maybe we loved too much, too young, and burned so bright that what we had faded out. She pointed behind us to the Blossom Grove. Extreme beauty, quick death. We had this love long enough to teach us a lesson, to show us how capable of love we truly are. Again, right before he left. This is stupid. Excuse my ignorance, but do 15-year-olds actually talk like this? They sound like philosophers, not kids.
It could be smart 15-year-olds.
And apparently, it says hashtag not realistic. And apparently, it's a book! And apparently it gets really emotional. I read spoilers, terrible, I know, but I can't see past the writing to enjoy the book. It's terrible in my opinion. If you're into cheesy, unrealistic stories, then you might want to give this book a try. If not, then I would not recommend. 1 star. Well, go jump off a bridge.
Oh my gosh, Haley. I enjoy this part, her freaking out. It's
Romance,
nice.
babe, this is straight up horror. Probably the most boring and abject read of the year. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. Anywho, this has been interesting.
Yeah.
Was this a good idea? Who knows?
No. Because are you gonna watch? Are you gonna watch? Are
Yeah,
you
I'm
gonna
gonna watch it.
Are you gonna read Haunting Ireland?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know. Let us know if we should. But I think we should either do another one of reading 5-star reviews on books we've hated, or reading 5-star reviews on these same books.
The same books, yeah.
To see if we agree with them.
Yeah. because like we need a little bit of 5-star in our lives. 'Cause this 1-star has me. Oh, this has me fighting mad.
Oh my goodness. All right, but if you like this and would like stuff similar to this, just let us know.
And if you have
Seriously.
any books that you have like recommends, like I said, we have 2 different reading styles.
Mhm.
I am very, very dark. Hers is very sad, Hallmarky.
Yeah.
So if y'all have any suggestions or anything like that, let us know.
Yeah.
I would love to read them.
We can maybe even do like read it and like do a
Do
episode
summary-
review or
summary
something.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let us know. Give us some ideas on books, and if I have read it, I'll reread it and put it in a summary for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some more coffee.
Oh my goodness. Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to come hang out with us every Thursday when we talk about the common chaos of sisterhood.